Good morning, everybody. Morning, Ivan. Hi, morning, YouTubers. If you're watching this as a replay instead of the live action on Saturday, August 15th, you can fast forward about 10 minutes. 10 minutes ahead, and we'll be close to the start of the show. So there you go. I have the Dakota Predator Hunters guys coming on my show today, and that's about it. Antelope season on its way in Wyoming here today. Where else? South Dakota, I think, opens up today as well. Let me look into that. What's going on here? My dog is whining about something. What is going on here? Why don't you guys go outside? All right. Hey, Justin, good morning. Waylon, good morning to you, sir. Let's see here. It is not how you spell the words I was going for there. Let's see here. Yeah, I believe South Dakota archery season opens up today. And North Dakota is first part of September. Yep. Archery season is today. Good deal. What else is going on here today? Oh, I better give my guests a call and get them lined out here. Check. Mic check. Check. Karen, good morning. Hope everything's good in Mobridge, South Dakota.
How's it going?
Good morning. Which one do I have, John or Blake?
Both of us. We're talking over the Bluetooth of the pickup. Is that going to work?
So far it sounds all right.
Okay. Perfect.
Good deal. Where's the mic at in the pickup? Is the mic closer to the passenger driver's seat, or is it in the center?
There's two of them on each side.
Oh, fancy. I see how you are. Well, how's the trip going? Whereabouts are you at?
We left around 6:30. We're just kind of in between Dickinson and Killdeer.
Okay. Service
wait for the bank to open and eat breakfast, and then we'll start heading south.
Service going to be good enough for you guys for the next hour?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would imagine, yeah, and we can pull over in Dickinson at Runnings or something and finish.
Sure.
But yeah, we should have full service all the way to Dickinson.
Okay. Do you have any ball caps with you?
Oh yeah, we got a bunch of them.
Okay. Pull over at Runnings. Let me know, or I'll tell people on KLTC that they need to go and find you and you get a free ball cap.
Yeah, we got. We'll be there, and then after that, we'll probably go eat breakfast or something, and then get to the bank, and then head out. So,
yeah,
we're still talking to you when we get to Dickinson, which we sure we will.
Yeah. Did you guys get any of that storm a couple nights ago?
Yeah, we got about an inch of rain.
Holy cow! Evidently, I'm doing something wrong here in the Badlands.
It usually splits and goes around us too.
That's exactly what happens here. We got lightning. I was on another fire call and all that. So
I was supposed to ask you, how does a ham taste in the back of a hay pickup about elbow deep when you're pheasant hunting at 10 in the morning?
A ham's taste in the back of a pickup when your elbows deep pheasant hunting?
When the ham is sitting elbow deep in the hay pile in the back of a pickup at 10 in the morning when you're pheasant hunting.
I know exactly the Don Nordby's pickup. That was nasty, man.
Yeah,
God.
Jesse was over. We're talking about church stuff, and he's like, "You gotta ask Scott," because we got on the topic of drinking beer.
Yeah, the first hams I've ever had in my life came from underneath a like rotted, moldy hay on the back of a feed pickup that was out all winter in the middle of all winter, all summer, and then that fall. And he's digging it apart and finds 2 hams beers that had rust on them. Yeah. Drank them, though.
Yeah, that's what Jesse did.
I never drank in my life until I met Jesse Flath.
Really?
Yep. That's the instigator of everything right there.
How old were you when you met him?
Oh, well,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
probably about 19, 20, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say 12. Never had a drink.
No, I didn't
We
know.
forced him into a...
No, I really didn't do a whole lot of that. It's trying to make enough money to make rent.
Right.
Look at there. Guy says, Wayne Moose says, good morning. Did you know when you Google Dakota Prairie Outdoors, I get a pharmacy listing that sells Viagra? Well, I hope that company's getting all the emails from PETA and HSUS then too.
Yeah.
You can have that. Yeah. Well, you guys know the show format here. We got a break at 15 and a break at 30. Okay. And all that good stuff.
What do y'all want to hit on?
Whatever comes up. Well, we'll talk antelope hunting. It's the opener of South Dakota's archery season today too, so we'll cover that. And yeah, talk about Jamie Olson, how he's going to put you on the state record.
Sounds good.
Kelly Spring, Cabalist Tractor Toolbox beers, 100 degrees.
Yeah, he's going to put us on a rattlesnake.
Rattlesnake? Good. Do that.
He had a big rattlesnake on his Snap story yesterday. Oh.
Well, he didn't include me on that one.
No, it was I don't know. It was on a story, I think.
Oh.
About a 3-footer.
Yeah, I've ran across a couple of them here. I'm going to try to get some fence done before I head over to Baker. I got the 4-H auction I have to do tonight, or this afternoon, I should say. Baker, Montana.
I usually don't cross Kakawea until it freezes.
You guys ever call coyotes off the lake?
Around the lake, yeah. I've never called them off. But if you're on the lake calling, it gets a little tough to bring them down onto the ice.
Does it?
They usually come down just far enough to where you can get a poke at them, yeah.
Okay. I know this Little Missouri River, it's a lot of fun calling coyotes on that Little Missouri.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, some of our best spots we have are right along the river.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that we have a couple springs that stay open year round, and those are really nice, but they're in the deep stuff, so you can get the coyotes coming in, but in order to see them through all those cedar trees and pine trees are a little bit difficult.
Right.
But we know they're there. All right, we're gonna turn you down here. I'm gonna talk to the stations a little bit. We're just about 30 seconds away. Stand by, guys. Stations, 30 second on mark. 30 seconds coming your way. Topic of warm beers, huh? It's before Yeti coolers. All right, stations, 5 seconds on mark. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. I'm Scott Bachmeyer here, and I'm broadcasting from the bunkhouse porch this morning. Well, we're greeted by another beautiful morning here across the Badlands and another chance to make a difference today. Hey, if you have a chance, first off, I'm going to go over some fence today, but if you have a chance, and you can make it to Baker, Montana today. Their Fallon County Fair is going on right now. Starting at 4:30 this afternoon is the 4-H livestock sale. And this year sure has been a different one for county fairs because of the whole COVID-19 thing. But one thing's for sure, these kids are still putting the time in and the money in to show to all of those show animals here, learning patience, feed rations, responsibility, what winning and losing actually is here, and learning not every kid gets a trophy. Good job, 4-H. Way to do that here to them. But on top of it all, they learn where their food comes from, and that's where I step in here today as one of the auctioneers for today's Fallon County 4-H sale. Got to make it a good experience for the kids, parents, and also the buyers. Help those kids understand that agriculture is the staple of life. So if you can, join me in Baker here 4:30 this afternoon. That, of course, is Mountain Time Zone. Other events coming up across the 6 states and 2 Canadian provinces that we reach here on great stations all across North and South Dakota, KFYR in Bismarck, KGFX in Pierre, KLTC in Dickinson, KOLY in Mobridge, and KCJB in Minot, along with my YouTube channel, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. And thank you for dead air on K-Fire 550. Not my issue, I guess, here. So coming up here, the John Graham Coyote Days. This is in Lusk, Wyoming next weekend here. Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. There's demonstrations starting at 9. Saturday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. There's those demonstrations at 8 o'clock. Saturday evening, a banquet, fur fashion show, coyote and bobcat demonstrations by some of the best in the country. And it's cheap. It's only a $10 admission fee. So pretty cool that you can go through that. They have people like the top guys from Wyoming, Nebraska, and Colorado, South Dakota, and Montana, all across that area coming in to give demonstrations Friday and Saturday. Again, that's the next weekend in Lusk, Wyoming. Other events going on across the area. South Dakota EMS Association Charity Golf Tournament is going on. That is Saturday, the August 29th. You can register at, listening on my end, hearing you talk dead air. There's not dead air. It's your station. It's your radio there, evidently. What else is going on? The Post 66 End of Summer Poker Run is going on as well. So you can get in on a few things here this weekend. Hey, got to tell you, my guests are the guys from Dakota Predator Hunters, and Blake and John are on their way to Wyoming chasing some speed goats, or other people know them as pronghorn if you've never heard them called speed goats before. Good morning, guys. How you doing today?
Morning, Scott. How's it going? Doing good.
All right. I don't know which one I'm talking to, so you guys are going to just have to take turns and make sure you answer the questions. Is that fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay. Hey, so if you're driving to Wyoming, you're probably going to go see Jamie Olson from Box Creek Outfitters. I heard that he's going to put you on the state record pronghorn antelope. Is that true?
Well, that's what I heard. So I can only hope.
Well, Box Creek Outfitters, you and I know Jamie from coyote calling contest, and I tell you what, he does a heck of a job guiding. I think, for a guy that all he does is trap and hunt coyotes and do outfitting, I'm guessing he's pretty good at his job.
Yeah, he's been really good. This is Blake here. I've been out there. This will be my third time going out there. Shot one with the rifle out there with the bow now, and now see if John can get one stuck with the string too.
So how hard is it to get a tag in Wyoming?
The process is pretty easy, actually. Jamie kind of takes care of everything for you. You got to send basic information about yourself down to him, and he'll put your tags in, apply for you and everything, and then he just lets you know if you get one. So it's actually, he takes care of everything for you.
Is it one of those? Is it like on some parts of North Dakota where it's nearly impossible to get it, or is it there are readily more tags available in Wyoming?
That I'm not too sure on that, but as far as my process went, I paid for a half a point and then gave Jamie the information. He took that half a point and applied for me, and I was able to draw a tag. So.
Good deal. Hunting, stick and string. So are you going out of a blind, or what's the process you guys going after these speed goats?
The first morning we're going to go, or the first day we're going to be hunting out of a blind, just like last year, and we always give Jamie a little heck for it. We sat in the blind last year, the first day too, and I think sat there all day at 95-degree weather, and all we seen was a bird. So we're hoping a little bit different story this year.
that's it seems like the tactic a lot of people use is sit over a water hole in a blind. What do you do for 14 hours in a blind? Let me ask you that.
Well, you get on your phone, you Google, do antelope actually drink water? And then you ask, when do they do? And they say from 5 a.m. till 10 o'clock at night. So there's really no.
Hey, what if you don't have enough cell phone service? What do you do?
You play tic-tac-toe in the dirt.
Yeah. If you have cell service, you can update your social media status minute by minute. Or what I found when I was bow hunting deer in a blind one year, I had zero service, but I went through and I cleaned up a lot of photos on my phone. I know I did that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This year I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit better too. Last year it was kind of tough when we were in that blind because they had so much rain.
Yeah.
So the antelope really didn't need to come to the watering hole. So that's why it was kind of slow for the most part when you were hunting the blind.
So they're a little drier this year. They'll be coming in.
That's what Jake's saying. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I've been hearing.
And it's supposed to be like 95 degrees out on Monday to Wednesday.
So good.
So that'll help.
Have fun sitting in a blind with each other on that. Plus, you guys are filming this whole stuff. And how can people get where can they find some of your films, and whether it's coyote hunting or antelope or whatever? Where can they find some of this if they want to track you down?
Everything that we videoed and put together is on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, Dakota Predator Hunters, and then on our Facebook page, Dakota Predator Hunters. You can find all the videos that we did and pictures that we've taken throughout the way. So.
Awesome. Good deal. And again, filming this one, I was going through some of your guys' Facebook stuff, and I see that you are spot and stalking down there. Was it last year that you guys did spot and stalk?
Yep, that's correct. We sat in the blind for a day and a half, and Jamie came to check on us, and we were standing on the road waiting to go because we hadn't seen anything.
Yeah.
And when we got spot and stalk, and we were on like 14 or 15 bucks that day, we get some of them to come to 70 yards. Some of them were spooked by the decoy, but it didn't take long before we ended up getting on one that stuck around long enough for me to get a shot at him.
Have you noticed when you're spot and stalk? Because I love doing the spot and stalk. Not always successful, but it's always fun because and it just seems like you're trying to hunt a little bit harder here. But have you noticed a lot of the times with pronghorn, when you're using a decoy and you find some and you may spook them here or there, that they make like a circle and come back on you eventually?
Oh, yeah. I've had that happen. We have that a lot. And it's fun down there, too. Even if you don't want to wait till they circle and come back to you, there's so much antelope down there that Jamie has, the rights to hunt and chase. But if you blow a stock on one, you just walk over the hill and there's, 50 more of them down there. You just pick one, go after that. And if it don't work out, just keep going over the next hill.
Awesome. Well, hey, guys, stand tight here and stay on the road. We're going to take a break here coming up here across the Dakota territory. We have Blake and John from Dakota Predator Hunters, and the phone lines are always open. You have questions for the guys? Give them a call, 888-9-DAKOTA. That's 888-932-5682. We'll be back. More Dakota Prairie Outdoors right after these messages.
Hi, this is Andy Murdoch with Piper's Auctioneers, inviting you to any one of these exceptional upcoming live and online fall equipment auctions, including retirement auctions with exceptional lines of quad tracks, Case and John Deere tractors, seeding equipment, harvest equipment, antique tractors and cars, and livestock equipment in Tolna, Lankin, Steele, Hazleton, and Bowman, North Dakota, Dagmar, Montana, Bison, South Dakota, and Vergas, Minnesota. For full inventory and online bidding on dozens of land and equipment auctions throughout the upper Midwest, log on to pipers.com.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. These are challenging times for our state, but the North Dakota oil and gas industry wants you to know they're coming back better than ever. The Bakken is still one of the best energy resources in the world and will be for generations to come. And through it all, the oil industry remains committed to developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council.
The North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame in historic Medora is open for the 2020 summer season. All safety precautions have been taken, with social distancing guidelines enforced and hand sanitizer stations in place. Come see the beautiful new displays for 2020, including the amazing bronze collection in the Hall of Honorees. Shop our wonderful gift shop with merchandise available celebrating 25 years of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. We'd love to see you at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame in historic Medora.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust trusts advisors. Use your wealth to support your family and those you care about. We know you have worked hard over the years to accumulate wealth. We want to make sure your legacy reaches your heirs as you intend, either by will, by trust, or by beneficiary designation. We emphasize flexibility to meet your goals and discipline to achieve them. Visit DakotaCommunityBank.com.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Hi, everybody. This is Scott Bachmeyer, and besides being the host of Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio and also a rancher in the Badlands, I'm also an auctioneer. So if you're looking to auction off property, maybe you have farm equipment, a production sale coming up, even a benefit or a fundraiser, I'm the guy that can help you out. Maybe you're listening and you have your own auction company and you find yourself short of help sometimes. I can step up as an auctioneer or even help as a ringman. Give me a call, send me a message, 701-425-6651. That's 701-425-6651.
Hi, this is Andy Murdoch with Piper's Auctioneers, inviting you to any one of these exceptional upcoming live and online fall equipment auctions, including retirement auctions with exceptional lines of quad tracks, Case and John Deere tractors, seeding equipment, harvest equipment, antique tractors and cars, and livestock equipment in Tolna, Lankin, Steele, Hazleton, and Bowman, North Dakota, Dagmar, Montana, Bison, South Dakota, and Vergas, Minnesota. For full inventory and online bidding on dozens of land and equipment auctions throughout the upper Midwest, log on to pipers.com.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust provides ag loans for all stages of growth, from seed to harvest. Our expert agribusiness lending staff specializes in loans for livestock, equipment, vehicles, and operating. With our roots in agribusiness lending, you can be assured that our lending staff will provide you with prompt and reliable service. In other words, our ag loan officers will always keep your best interests in mind. Stop by your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes,
15 seconds, stations, 15 seconds.
I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition. You're listening KFYR in Bismarck, KCJB in Minot, KLTC in Dickinson, KOLY in Mobridge, and KGFX Pierre, South Dakota. Good to have you folks along. Also, everybody watching on my YouTube channel, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. It's a good morning. It's a good Saturday morning as we kick off hunting season. How so? Well, maybe not everywhere, but for the same species. But it's opening antelope season in South Dakota for their archery season. And of course, Blake and John here from Dakota Predator Hunters are my guest here. They're headed down to Wyoming. Guys, welcome back. Did you make it to Dickinson yet?
Yeah, we're just
Pulling into Dickinson. So if you do you guys have your pickup all outfitted out? Says Dakota Predator Hunters across the side and everything.
No, just pretty basic.
You just got a fancy phone system is what you got inside. Hey, you know what else is opening up here today, this morning? in
What's that?
Waterfall. It's the early Canada goose hunting season. You guys get into
Right, I
that?
had some buddies that
I'm sorry. What was
finally
it?
got some peas off. We got some peas off over by that mined area, so I had some buddies that are going out hunting.
Yeah, I've been searching the whole Facebook side of things, and holy cow, people are out there. They're ready. You know, this is one thing, this whole COVID-19 scare that the media put us into. People are ready to get out and do some hunting, aren't they? I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to be back on the hunting trail and heading back down to Wyoming to start get some more hunts on camera for sure.
Yeah. What's the hardest thing when you're filming hunts, whether it's coyote hunting, whether it's speed goat or whatever you guys are chasing? What's the hardest thing, if you have any advice for people that want to film their own stuff? What would you tell them?
The hardest thing to get to come together is getting it to come together in front of the camera. I mean, there's been numerous times where, you know, we're calling coyotes and a coyote will pop out at 15 yards to shoot. Oh, that really doesn't make the best of, you know, footage. You want to get them coming in. You want to be able to be in the right spot so you can get them on camera coming in. So the biggest thing and the toughest thing when you're filming is trying to be able to be in the right spot to capture it all on camera. Because sometimes the way it works out, it's kind of hard to do.
Yeah, it's something you say that, you know, you want them to come in to give that person watching kind of that excitement like you feel when you see a coyote coming in too, don't you?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I would say another thing that John has told me before too is he doesn't get to watch the actual hunt because you got to be focused on the camera. You got to make sure that coyote is on the camera. If you start looking up, like we had Emmett running the camera one time, and I shot a coyote and looked over and the camera's in the sky and he's watching the hunt from his looking.
Yeah, we let him run the camera one time, and me and Blake were shooting, and we ended up getting a coyote. And I watched the footage that he had, and it shows the coyote in the camera. And then all of a sudden, the camera just starts slowly pointing at the sky, and Emmett was watching it through his eyes. So that's a big thing too. It's hard to, whether you're calling coyotes in or bow hunting for antelope or deer, or whatever it must be, but you got to be watching it through the screen of the camera. You can't be watching it, or else that's another thing you got to concentrate on. It's hard to make everything come together.
Jamie Breck sends a text. He says, what kind of rifle and caliber do you guys use when you go coyote hunting?
I shoot Specialized Dynamics AR 22-250.
Okay.
John and Emmett, they're getting guns built by Scott too, and I know Emmett just got a 6.5 Creedmoor, and I think John's getting a 6.5 Creedmoor or a 22-250.
Okay.
But they're bolt guys. I'm not. I'm an AR guy now.
So what do you think the benefit from the AR versus the bolt is? Because I've had the same argument with many people, and I've switched from my AR over to a bolt action rifle, and I'll tell you why I did it after you tell me what you think the difference is or what the advantages might be, one or the other.
I like to know that I have multiple rounds in my gun, and I can have follow-up shots or running shots make it a lot easier because they're running away from you and you don't have to focus on moving your bolts. You just keep finding out where you're hitting. I've had way more running shots, you know, on like you shoot the first one and then the other one takes off by running an AR.
Yeah. I agree with that. I do. My problem with the AR is I knew I had multiple rounds and I didn't take my first shot like I should have. I didn't take it as I guess I knew I had more rounds. I was like, well, if I miss, I have, 29 more rounds I can just clip off. And it seemed like I was not taking my first shot as steady as I should have. So I went back to my bolt action. My own.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
I had to shoot it like a bolt, and then I have follow-up shots too.
That's because you have better mental over that first shot than I do. I get too excited probably. So have you ever had a chance? So we were talking about before we went on the radio station air on the YouTube side of things. You asked if I ever had a warm Ham's beer pulled out of somebody's hay feed pickup in the back of his pickup underneath some old rotten hay. And yes, I have.
I was asking for a friend.
Yeah,
I was asking for
and I think he's listening. But anyway, Jesse and I were in a coyote tournament at, I believe it was the Mandan tournament that Jamie hosted. And the ambient temperature was 32 below zero. That was without the wind chill. And Jesse's AR was freezing up on him because I think it was mostly going in and out of the pickup all the time, going warm and jumping out cold and what have you. There's maybe some condensation. Have you ever had trouble with cycling in very, very cold temperatures?
No, I really haven't. Not once I got my gas pressure. I had to talk to Scott, and he said I need to turn my gas down when I was running suppressed. Okay. And once I did that, it fixed it all. But I spray mine down with REM oil before every hunt. I just soak it, and I don't know. Never had any problems, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that, the cycling issue on that. And then, besides that, I don't know why we were hunting in that cold of weather, but man, the coyotes sure came in. The colder it is, it seems like the better they came in.
Yeah. I told Scott, I said, I'm going to put your gun to a test. I said, it's really cold out here and I don't like cleaning guns.
Yeah. So you're right. I'm guessing both of you guys run suppressed, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah. What type of blowback do you have on the AR that, do you have to clean it a little bit more often because you are running suppressed?
Nah, I think I should be, but I haven't. But no, you definitely feel the blowback more on that AR than you do on a bolt.
Yeah. What kind of suppressors you guys running?
I got a 6 Sawyer 762 titanium.
Okay.
And then I got the Dakota silencer 3.0, the Varmineer.
Okay. Are they caliber specific, or did you guys go 30 caliber and use them for everything?
I got mine for a 30 caliber. I shoot that 6.5 and that Swift and that 223 a lot. So I just bought one that I'm able to shoot on all of them. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely makes a difference having suppressor on that. I don't know. I mean, even big game hunting. Question comes in, says, what archery equipment you guys using for your antelope hunt?
I just last month actually went over to Little Missouri Archery, and they hooked me up with an Elite. It's an Elite 2019 Elite, and I got a 28.5-inch draw length on it, yep. And every kind of just basic ridge sights, 5-pin. That's what I'm using. It's a brand new bow. I just got it from them just a month ago. I got it sighted in, and this is going to be kind of a trial run. Yeah. First trial run with it heading down to Wyoming.
That's the nice thing about that is, the technology now in today's archery equipment, it just seems like it's amazing how much faster and easier it is. They can set them up in no time. It seems like anybody can get in there. What's your draw poundage? What are you pulling for poundage wise for speed goats?
I'm shooting 70.
You are? Okay. What do you practice out to? How long of a distance are you capable of going at?
Well, normally I'm at 20 to 50 or 20 to 60, but with the 5-pin and this new bow that I got before we head down there, I put the first pin at 30 and then my bottom one's at 70.
Okay. So you can be able to reach out there if the wind's not pushing too hard for you. And it's never windy in Wyoming, I hear.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the closest shot I think Blake had last year was the one he got, but we shot at, there was 72 yards, 73 yards. It was tough shooting last year.
Yeah. Well, guys, hold up through the next break here. We're going to go into the second half of the show, and we have some coyote questions coming in here for you. 888-9-DAKOTA. That's 888-932-5682. That's 932-5682 with 888 in front of it here. Toll-free call if you have questions for John and Blake from Dakota Predator Hunters. Hey, I'm Scott Bachmeyer. This is Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Back after these messages.
Hi, this is Andy Murdoch with Piper's Auctioneers, inviting you to any one of these exceptional upcoming live and online fall equipment auctions, including retirement auctions with exceptional lines of quad tracks, Case and John Deere tractors, seeding equipment, harvest equipment, antique tractors and cars, and livestock equipment in Tolna, Lankin, Steele, Hazleton, and Bowman, North Dakota, Dagmar, Montana, Bison, South Dakota, and Vergas, Minnesota. For full inventory and online bidding on dozens of land and equipment auctions throughout the upper Midwest, log on to pipers.com.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. These are challenging times for our state, but the North Dakota oil and gas industry wants you to know they're coming back better than ever. The Bakken is still one of the best energy resources in the world and will be for generations to come. And through it all, the oil industry remains committed to developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council.
The North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame in historic Medora is open for the 2020 summer season. All safety precautions have been taken, with social distancing guidelines enforced and hand sanitizer stations in place. Come see the beautiful new displays for 2020, including the amazing bronze collection in the Hall of Honorees. Shop our wonderful gift shop with merchandise available celebrating 25 years of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. We'd love to see you at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame in historic Medora.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust trusts advisors. Use your wealth to support your family and those you care about. We know you have worked hard over the years to accumulate wealth. We want to make sure your legacy reaches your heirs as you intend, either by will, by trust, or by beneficiary designation. We emphasize flexibility to meet your goals and discipline to achieve them. Visit DakotaCommunityBank.com.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Hi, everybody. This is Scott Bachmeyer, and besides being the host of Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio and also a rancher in the Badlands, I'm also an auctioneer. So if you're looking to auction off property, maybe you have farm equipment, a production sale coming up, even a benefit or a fundraiser, I'm the guy that can help you out. Maybe you're listening and you have your own auction company and you find yourself short of help sometimes. I can step up as an auctioneer or even help as a ringman. Give me a call, send me a message, 701-425-6651. That's 701-425-6651.
Hi, this is Andy Murdoch with Piper's Auctioneers, inviting you to any one of these exceptional upcoming live and online fall equipment auctions, including retirement auctions with exceptional lines of quad tracks, Case and John Deere tractors, seeding equipment, harvest equipment, antique tractors and cars, and livestock equipment in Tolna, Lankin, Steele, Hazleton, and Bowman, North Dakota, Dagmar, Montana, Bison, South Dakota, and Vergas, Minnesota. For full inventory and online bidding on dozens of land and equipment auctions throughout the upper Midwest, log on to pipers.com.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust provides ag loans for all stages of growth, from seed to harvest. Our expert agribusiness lending staff specializes in loans for livestock, equipment, vehicles, and operating. With our roots in agribusiness lending, you can be assured that our lending staff will provide you with prompt and reliable service. In other words, our ag loan officers will always keep your best interests in mind. Stop by your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes,
15 second stations, 15.
I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Hey, it's Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition. Good to have you across the Dakota Territory. Yeah, KFYR in Bismarck, KGFX in Pierce, South Dakota, KLTC in Dickinson, KCJB in Minot, and KOLY in Mobridge. Music by Benny Paulson and Breaking 8. And if you want to see more of them, be in Baker tonight. They're going to have a concert here, Breaking 8 tonight, right after the rodeo. So, yeah, come on in, have a little fun. at the Fallon County Fair. Hey, my guest is Blake and John. They're with Dakota Predator Hunters. Guys, welcome back here. Sitting in Runnings parking lot, are you?
Yep.
All right. So if anybody wants a free Dakota Prairie, or you don't have my hats, Dakota Predator Hunters, it's too close together here. Dakota Predator Hunters ball cap. Find a pickup with two guys sitting there looking like they're talking to themselves here, and knock on the window and say, "I want a ball cap." How's that sound?
Yeah, we won't be here for too long, much longer. But
actually, I heard they're giving away free ARs. So Specialized Dynamics, maybe your sponsor could help give away a few rifles once in a while. See how that goes over.
Yeah, I'm going to clear that up with Scott.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's listening right now.
We'll give him some love. And, that's a nice thing about what we do. We all have sponsors. And what's fun, though, is I don't have any sponsors that are like, you have to use this archery equipment and this rifle and this scope and this, because I want to try new things out. I really like trying different things out there. And it seems like it's kind of a fun time. But when you have a guy like Specialized Dynamics that make top quality rifles, you got to give them some loving on the air, man. So maybe they'll let me try one of yours out and see if I fall into that AR 22-250 capability. I wouldn't mind having one of those. That sounds like a good rifle to have. Hey, couple text messages, actually a lot of text messages about coyote hunting. You ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. First one says early season calling. We're getting close. I like to start hunting coyotes for the fur right around that end of October, starting in November right away. When you're early season calling, they're saying, what is your sequence that you use to start calling? And
I would go with
season. Yeah.
I would do a lot of like up howls, because now we've been doing some spraying, and now the pups they're by themselves a little bit. I've seen a few of them out in the middle of nowhere, and I know John and Emmett have sent me some pictures of coyote pups too, and so I would do maybe some coyote pup howls, maybe a female howl to try, maybe they're trying to call them back in, and I do really good with like baby cottontail and mouse squeaks, or like any rodent. I do a lot of rodents in the early season, and those pups really like that high pitched sound. And then I follow it up with a pup distress, and that usually will pull the female and possibly the male in too, but a lot of times you'll shoot the female. So she's coming to that pup distress sound, but the pups are coming to the rodent distress sound, I'd say.
Yeah. When it comes to early season, it seems anybody can call a coyote in that first few weeks, because like you said, those pups and the females really are curious of where their pups are, and the pups are just curious anyway. Do you find that same sequence works throughout the year, or do you change your sequence as the year progresses?
Oh, you change it up as it goes. I mean, like you said, early season, one thing too I was going to mention on calling early season is you got to keep in mind that them pups, if you're going out and using aggressive sounds, loud sounds, aggressive cottontail or jackrabbit or whatever it may be, them pups haven't heard that. So they're going to be scared of them noises. So the softer noises that you're going to want to use in the field early season. And then going into mid-season, depending on what the weather's been, we're changing it up, maybe going to howls, more distress sounds. That pup distress in the right spot will work all year round.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, we're moving into more breeding sounds, more different sorts of howls. And then, locating them. And most of the time, I guess last year it was pretty rough towards the end because the prices were so high and everybody was hunting them. So we concentrated on just getting out there before the sun came up and locating them and figuring out where they were and then moving in on them. There was times where we had coyotes at 1,500 yards that wouldn't come in, and then we circled around them towards the end of the day and got within 400 yards where they at, and we could call two of them in.
Yeah.
Just on light sounds. But
yeah, that's you mentioned fur prices last year. Man, was that crazy or what? I hope it's like that again this year.
Yeah, it makes it a little tougher because everybody's out hunting them, but that's good.
It is. Yeah.
You just got to be able to, I guess it makes you a better hunter in a way. You got to figure out different noises, maybe go more towards hand calling. That's another thing that we use towards the end of the year, is so we can switch up and make different sounds instead of just the same exact sound over and over on an e-collar.
Yeah. So you do use both e-collar and hand calls?
Yep.
Yeah. I do the same thing.
Like, have you ever, well, like late season, have you ever you walk into a spot and you look at a certain rock pile or something, and you're like, I guarantee there's been 5 different people have called off that rock pile.
Yeah.
When we get to the late season, we try to avoid doing that. We try to get in deeper. We try to get on top of them where they're not expecting to hear that sound, and then when they do it, you almost get an instant response from them. But we try. You can see when you walk in a spot where everyone sits. So.
Yeah. And that's a question that came up here too. It says, what do you look for in a good spot when you're trying to make a set? What do you guys feel when you're walking over the hill, or you look at a certain territory when you're watching? Where do you want to put yourself? I mean, of course, wind in the face, sun in your back, but that's not always, going to happen, is it?
Nope. You just want to just really look it over to see where the cover spot is, where the habitat are, where they're getting their food from, and then your water source. And just plan it by that. I mean, if you can't hunt it directly with the wind in your face, but yet you can still figure out by looking at the landscape of the land, depending on where you think they're going to come from. That's what we're always looking at. If they're going to be down towards the water, if it's a hotter time of the year, or if they're going to be in that thicker stuff, chasing rabbits and pheasants around, or whatever it may be.
I got more questions coming in here via Facebook Messenger. If you want to text them to me, you can sure do that too at 701-425-6651. That's 701-425-6651. And the question comes in, says, what do you guys do with the coyotes after you shoot them? Do you guys do your own fur, or do you sell them on carcass? How do you guys take care of yours?
Last year, we just make sure that the second we're done hunting, we get them in the freezer. And then if we have time to, we'll hang them up and I'll skin them out. And then it's just skin them out, roll them up, put them in a bag, and then put them in the freezer until we sell them.
Yeah.
But once it gets where we can hold them without a freezer, we pretty much sell them on carcass.
Yeah. Yeah. Just hang them up in a dark area. And I tell you what, the fur price last year for carcass coyotes was not much different from green skinning them for at least what I did. I green skinned everything I had last year, and I think I could have just left them on carcass and got the same amount of money.
Yep. And then make sure, I guess, to go back to that question, if you're getting coyotes and you're wanting to take care of them and make sure they stay good to sell them, make sure you're hanging them up by their feet and you're not laying them down on the side. Because then if you lay them down on the side and you start skinning them, you'll get green belly bad, and when they get that, the fur buyers don't want them.
Yeah, I found out last year I had one sitting looking directly at me, so I center punched him with my 6.5, and that one they didn't like so much because the exit was right in their back, where the thickest of the fur and what the highest quality fur is. And So when you're talking shot placement, where do you guys like to put that round in them, if they're broadside or if they're standing straight and looking right at you?
I'm putting it right behind the shoulder. Right, that's usually just trying to shoulder mount them every time, because like you said, between the back of the head and then however far down, 6 or 7 inches is where they're checking that fur at. If they're already losing hair or whatever, that's the most valuable part of that coyote is right on the back there.
Yeah, all those guard hairs.
But just like
guard hairs, yep.
Just like a deer, you don't want to hit them in the shoulder blade. It'll turn them it'll turn an $80 coyote into a $15 coyote really fast.
Yeah.
Hit that shoulder blade.
Yeah. How about if they're sitting at you and looking at you?
Right to the chest.
That's what I did, but it didn't work. Well, it worked.
Yeah,
but the fur
you got the coyote.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you got it.
I still got $70 for him. So, that's not bad. I thought that was pretty good money for it. So, yeah. What else here? Go through shot placement here. We talked about that.
To go back to that.
Go ahead.
To go back, like when you're looking at a terrain, I would say another thing we probably do a lot is hunt fence lines. It seems like you can get them to come run up a fence line, but it's hard to get them to come across in which we actually have a video where he did come across 1,500 yards of a stubble field, but it's very rarely you can get them to do that. So if you can get them to come up a fence line or come through a draw and force them into your lap, it seems like it's easier than calling them across a wide open field.
Yeah. I always like to, when you talk about fence lines, I like to sit along a fence line. I think it gives me a little bit of a cover if I'm by an H brace or a corner brace or something like that. It seems that it's not only a good place to kind of have a good backrest to get a stationary shot, but I hunt fence lines all the time. It seems gives me more of a stable shot. And the coyotes, I don't know, they're running fence lines. I'm guessing the trails, cow trails, they always go around the outside of the pasture first anyway. So are they taking those cow trails that come in?
Yeah, I think a coyote's a pretty lazy animal. If they have a way that they can take a cow trail to come up to you, they're going to be on that 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. So longest shot you guys have taken and confirmed?
I think mine 680.
Okay.
640 with that 2250.
Okay. Now, when you're looking at shots that long, how difficult is it when filming to see a small animal? Can you zoom in without too much shaking going on here on those cameras?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The one we had previous when we first started getting together and filming, we have a video up of Blake shooting a coyote at, I think it was 500 yards, and that camera didn't quite have enough zoom on it. So that's one thing I wanted to focus on, is finding the camera to where, you can zoom in and still see good at that 400 to 600 range.
Sure. Bipods or tripods, Jamie asks.
Bipod.
Bipods on both of them?
Yep.
Yeah. It's nearly a necessity anymore. Suppressor, bipods. I've seen some people, they like to, we were doing some thermal imaging night hunting. You guys gotten into that yet?
Yep. I just started getting into it maybe 2 or 3 years ago, or 2 years ago I started looking around at scopes and trying it out.
Yeah. And last year was the first time I went with an actual thermal imaging scope. Little different to get used to, isn't it? I mean, looking through that, and then especially a dark of night, when you pull your eye out of that scope, you can't quite see for a while. I mean, you have to really work your eyes a little bit differently. But what I've noticed, though, is going with Jesse, is that they have tripods and they're standing up. I mean, there's no sitting down waiting for coyotes. It's a stand-up type of maneuver. Are you guys doing the same thing?
I do have a tripod for night hunting, yeah, but I'm usually always sitting down. I got a chair that I use.
Okay.
So
I got a lot into it right at the end with a buddy from work. He runs a FLIR there, and we were shooting 7, 8 coyotes a night with it. And I could not believe the difference in day hunting and night hunting. Whatever you think of day hunting, just throw that out the window, and it's completely different, because we had coyotes that were coyotes crossing major highways and major gravel roads to get to us, and that doesn't happen during the day.
No, I agree with you. The same thing the first time, and it doesn't even seem like the wind affects him as much either, because we were down to a prairie dog town, and I mean we had coyotes coming behind us, in front of us, to the side of us, and then those coyotes realized that there was other coyotes, so they kind of veered away from one of the other, but they could care less that we were standing there. But there was no. Yeah. I mean, you guys seen that same
especially
thing
if you
too.
Especially if you had like an overcast and it was like on the verge of almost fogging. Gosh, they didn't even care that we were there.
Yeah.
Like they'd run right up to you. Like, and we were calling not 1, 2 in, we were calling 8, 9 in.
Right.
In 2 spots, we called 9 different coyotes in, and we shot 3 and 2, I think, on one set.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'd like to get into it more, but it is expensive to get into the thermal side, isn't it?
Yep, and I personally just run a scope, but if a guy had enough extra cash laying around to get a scanner to buy 2 scopes, so you're not sitting there staring through your rifle scope the whole time.
One thing good about thermal hunting is when you got kids like John and I, when John puts the kids to bed at night, you can go out and still hunt with thermals.
Right.
Pretty hard to get away from, the day. You got to almost have to plan a trip to go out all the time, At night, he can just leave once he gets the kids to sleep. His wife can take him then.
Just leave him in the house and take off, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's got a good wife. She'll take care of him.
I hope she's listening too.
I hope she is too.
So when the thermal side of things, I really think an AR, that's where the AR shines, is when you have a thermal scope hanging on one of those, because like you said, you have way more coyotes coming in and a lot closer. So those follow-up shots, you can get them to stop at night way faster than you can during the daytime.
Especially suppressed.
Yeah.
At night, I don't know, you can't hardly hear that thing go off.
Yeah. So a lot of people are always thinking, well, if you're running thermal and you're going after coyotes at night, and a lot of officials, it's hard to get somebody convinced, that thermal imaging or even digital night vision, or even lighted scopes or whatever like that. There's some people that are against it because they're like, well, what if you don't know if it's a deer or a coyote? But when you're using these optics, you can definitely tell what is what out there, can't you?
Yeah, you can definitely tell. The biggest thing with that, I guess, for me is just you build a good enough relationship with your neighbors, so when you are over there, they do have trust in you that you're not going to, shoot. And every time I'm going out thermal hunting, I always call the neighbors and say, hey, I'm just going to be out there just to let you know. And they're like, all right, we'll lock the dogs inside and just call us in the morning when you're done.
Yeah.
So just building a strong relationship, I guess, then you guys won't have too much issues with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, whether it's daytime or night vision. You're getting me more jacked up here. I'm trying to figure out where can I find enough extra cash, like you said, laying around. I don't have that problem of extra cash laying around, so I don't know where I'm going to find the what is it, $4,000 to get into a baseline model, a thermal imaging scope?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yep.
Maybe Jesse can get you something. He's rich, isn't he?
He's already got one. Yeah.
Tell him to get two.
Get two. Let me have one. Yeah.
That's why you always hunt with buddies with money. What's that saying? If you want to, or can you hunt coyotes? If you're, can you be a millionaire to be a coyote hunter? Yeah, as long as you're a billionaire.
It's like the same thing. You know how you make $2 million ranching? You start out with $4 million. Is how you do it. Yeah. Same thing. Well, folks, I tell you what, if you want to find more from Dakota Predator Hunters, like they said, how's YouTube treating you with putting, here's the thing about predator hunting is there's a lot of people in the national television side, the Sportsman's Channel, the Outdoor Channel, they don't like showing predator hunting for some reason. Deer hunting, of course, turkey hunting, waterfowl, not a problem. How is YouTube treating you guys with the predator hunting side of things on their channel?
We haven't really ran into much issues with it yet, anyway.
Any emails coming in that say you guys are mean? And
we've actually not had, we haven't had very many bad messages. You see some of those guys, they get hammered with threats and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. You guys might have yours locked down. I had a phone call the other day from a guy from Moscow, Idaho, that is still mad at me about shooting a porcupine years ago. He won't give up, man. He wants to send me information about how to live with them. So I'll
yeah, we haven't dealt with.
I'm just going to send him your number. Hey, if they want more information or want to get in touch with you guys, how do they do this? If somebody says, you know what, I want these guys to come down and shoot coyotes in my place, how do they get in touch with you?
You can instant message us on Facebook. Both of us can see it right away, so we're pretty much right on top of the messages. And even throughout the week here, if you guys have any questions, just message us or whatever you need to do, and we'll try to point you in the right path, I guess.
Do you guys have your notifications on your phone shut off so when you're in that blind for hour number 8, people can send you a text message and it's not going to go through like that and ruin your hunt or anything?
We should have plenty of time to answer messages if we have service.
Yeah.
Plenty of
quick
time.
Story on that, Scott. Quick story on that. We were
Very
scouting. We were stocking up on antelope last year down with Jamie, and we got about 80 yards from him, and Jamie's phone went off and spooked the antelope off, so we had to give him heck the whole rest of the week while we were down there.
Hey, you guys, thanks for coming on the program. Safe driving, and send me some messages and updates if you can, please, okay?
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Blake and John, Dakota Predator Hunters. You can find them on all social media aspects. And even Marty Beard sent me a photo saying I'm a dirty guy for shooting porcupines here because he has a pet one on his shoulder. Have a good day. All right, stations, thank you so much for continuing to stay with me. I appreciate that. Blake, John, thank you guys.
Thank you. Have a good week, Scott.
You bet. You guys too. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You bet. See ya. And YouTube, I tell you what, thank you for hanging with me here. Okay, what's the other text message before maybe it's you received something here. Holy cow, look at here. Full limit of Canada geese here. YouTube, have yourself a good one. I'll be checking in with you next week. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, and we'll talk to you later.